Welcome back to Sports Extra, presented by Toyota. Well, this past Friday was St. Patrick's Day, and according to several different studies and articles, including the Washington Post, the Irish American population in the United States is 7 times larger than the population of Ireland, and 5.3% of New York's population comes from Irish descent, the second largest non-Hispanic white ethnic group. What does this have to do with sports? It has a lot to do with the upcoming baseball season, because joining me right now is the revered and legendary former first baseman of the Los Angeles Dodgers and San Diego Padres, 10-time MLB All-Star, NL MVP, and 1981 World Series champion, Steve Garvey. Welcome to Sports Extra, Steve.
You're phenomenal.
There are more things. There's Gold Gloves. There's NLCS MVP.
Yes.
Great to see you here in New York. But
it's great to be back. And we live out in the Palm Springs area, which is a little warmer, but we love New York. My roots are here. Parents out of Rockville Center and Glen Cove, grandfather a Brooklyn policeman, and I was born in Florida, but in 1956 I got a chance to bat boy for the Brooklyn Dodgers in spring training, so that began my life in baseball and a chance to continue the legacy with Irish American Baseball Society.
So of course we just celebrated St. Patrick's Day. You have been a part of several St. Patrick's Day parades with the Irish Baseball Society. So tell us first about the society.
What we're trying to do is, again, build a base. This year, 5,000 boys and girls will be introduced to baseball in Ireland.
It's amazing.
So the goal is to develop their skills so that someday they can come here and play for colleges and universities in the United States, and then build a base for the Irish national team. And we know the WBC has been going on.
And they're not there. Right. But we want to see them there, like Italy, who's doing well now, with Mike Piazza as their manager. So is that the goal, to have a strong national team?
Absolutely. And it takes time. And I would say 1990 is when it really started to kick in, that we Irish have this long legacy and history, and let's start really focusing on the youth. And the Irish American Baseball Society has created the Heritage Awards, which will honor high school players each year. From the field to the classroom to the community is the theme. If you look through the years at the two heritages that probably had the greatest influence on baseball as players, it was the Italians and the Irish.
Oh, wow.
And you
think
don't
of
think of it that
pastime,
way. Pastime and so forth.
They were the
but the immigrants coming over, what did they play in New York? They played stickball and whatever they could. And this is how the iconic Irish players' roots became really out of Ireland through New York and then disseminated through the East Coast. How
could people, like my Irish husband, Kevin McCurney, who loves baseball, he's a big Yankees fan, how could people get involved?
Well, contact the Irish American Baseball Society.org. And we have such a growing base. We have a couple of thousand members now, which is great.
Fun.
But what this will do is it'll get you in the game, so to speak. And our whole goal also is, within the next few years, have a Major League Baseball exhibition game in Ireland. Of course, it's been in England. I think it's going to be in France. But let's take it to the old side. And one of those things is a nice stadium in the south of Ireland. Now we want to build a stadium in the north of Ireland.
This past week, you also announced the 2023 Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame, which you are a part of. So who is part of that class this year?
Well, Jim Palmer, the fabulous pitcher. I hit him pretty well. He was very kind to me. Hall of Fame. And then Jim Leyland, who Hall of Fame manager and winner of, I think, 3 World Series. And then John McSherry, Big John, 25-year umpire. Our 3 great inductees this year.
Steve, while I have you here, I would love to ask you about your thoughts on the new rules in baseball. Garrett Cole, I did a long interview with him at spring training. He's kind of both sides of the fence on the rules, but he said Ron Guidry told him, I'm going to watch more baseball this year because I'm curious to see its impact on the game. Will it increase that curiosity, whether it's a traditionalist, a great legend like you in the game, or just younger eyes? Do you think it'll help in that aspect?
Across the board.
Okay, great.
And generational. I think the youngsters, I'd encourage the parents to get the kids to watch some games. I mean, you've got some very good teams here in New York.
Oh, of course.
Dodgers going to be great again. So forth. Get them to watch the game and see the pace of the game and see if you can keep them engaged for 3, 4, 5 innings. You know, talent will do that. There's a lot of great superstars out there now. But does the pace of the game actually get the kids involved? Does the pace of the game turn off the average fan that is 40 to 60? But I seem to think that fan's locked in for life. The young fan is the one we're really trying for now.
You mentioned the Dodgers, of course, another strong team again this season. What do you think of the Yankees and Mets?
It's 3 seasons. It's spring training, it's the regular season, the postseason. And to get through it takes endurance. It takes staying away from major injuries to players. It takes consistency. You have to have a strong minor league pitching core, because there's going to be times where these pitchers are going to get hurt. You have to rotate pitchers' quality up there to kind of hold the dam, so to speak.
Yeah,
so,
and we've already seen 2 big pitchers go down with the Yankees and Mets.
I know.
So we'll see what happens.
Oh, well,
but it's
glad I was an everyday player.
See, there you go. Oh, look at that. He's the Iron Man himself. Steve, it's so nice to talk to you. We really appreciate what you're doing for the Irish Baseball Society across the globe.
Across the globe.
And come back and visit again.
Let's do it again.
Yes, and give your daughter Olivia, who's also a sports broadcaster, my best. She is lovely.